to act like that this isn't true. I don't understand the point of trying to say, oh, there's just no way. No, there's a thing as far as physicality, athleticism, and look, we watched the...
That single reaction right there tells you everything about how explosive this debate has become. Two active NBA players dropped one bold take, and instantly, the entire internet split in half. Some called it pure disrespect. Others said it was just the truth nobody wants to say out loud. Lonzo Ball and Michael Porter Jr. didn't hide behind vague comments either. They went on record claiming they could have dominated the WNBA back in middle school. And the firestorm that erupted afterward? That exposed something way deeper than basketball talent or skill comparisons. It revealed the tension, the ego, the gender wars, and the uncomfortable spotlight that shows exactly where the sports world stands today.
Ball says 9th grade Lonzo, would go crazy in the WNBA. Michael Porter Jr. says it's just common sense. Michael Porter Jr., quote, you know what's crazy? Pat Bev said that a WNBA team could beat the bench of a NBA team. I mean, he's on crack. Absolutely on crack. Lonzo Ball, quote, I'm going to give you the most honest answer right now. I know.
Let's clear up the facts before people start twisting the narrative. Lonzo Ball never said middle school. He was specific, 9th grade. By then he was already over 6 feet tall, throwing down dunks like it was nothing. Michael Porter Jr. took it even further, claiming he could have done it in 8th grade. And here's the part everyone conveniently ignores. MPJ isn't guessing. He isn't theorizing. He has receipts. When Porter was in 7th and 8th grade, he actually practiced on the scout team against his sister's University of Missouri squad, a team that included Sophie Cunningham, who later became a full-time WNBA pro. And Porter says straight up, he was going crazy in those scrimmages. This isn't some fantasy hypothetical cooked up for click. This is firsthand, documented experience from an NBA player who literally competed against future WNBA.
No girl in the WNBA is doing that. I'm going back door, throw it up. I'm looking like Jordan out there. I'm just going to say, and I mean this respectfully, middle school down, I give it to the WNBA. Michael Porter Jr. is going to take it a lot further than this. Quote, I'm probably going with 8th grade because I have real experience doing this. I played my sisters. They played at the university.
Now here's where things actually get interesting. Porter drops a line that slices straight through all the noise. A line that should be pure common sense. And the fact that it isn't tells you everything. What he's really pointing at is this strange reality we've created where simply acknowledging measurable, biological differences suddenly becomes controversial. We're talking about basic facts, speed, strength, vertical explosiveness, yet the moment you mention them, it's treated like an attack instead of what it is, data. Just look at the numbers. The average WNBA player is 6 feet tall. Brittany Griner stands at 6 feet 8 inches, one of the tallest to ever play in the league.
Common sense these days, right out the window, Michael. I appreciate common sense. I feel sometimes that's a loss a little bit. Lost a little bit? Really? It's been vaporized like the Death Star hit common sense. Common sense is called Alderaan. They blew it to pieces. They've tried to.
Meanwhile, step into any competitive high school gym in America during boys basketball season. You'll watch 15-, 16-, and 17-year-olds casually throwing down dunks and warm-ups like it's routine. No spotlight, no special coverage, just kids jumping out of the gym. The athleticism gap isn't subtle, it isn't slight, and it definitely isn't imaginary. It's massive, measurable, and universally understood by anyone who's ever watched both levels side by side. And before anyone tries to twist this into some attack on women's basketball, let's make one thing absolutely clear. This debate has never been about skill. WNBA players possess elite footwork, high-level basketball IQ, world-class shooting form, and pro-caliber court vision. Lonzo and Porter aren't claiming these women lack talent. They're pointing out a simple physical truth, that once males hit a certain age, the jump in speed, strength, and explosiveness creates advantages that pure skill alone can't cancel out. It's biology meeting basketball reality.
A comeback. It's making a comeback. And there are people furious with both of these guys right now. That that they're saying 7th, 8th, and 9th grade boys would destroy guys that ended up becoming NBA players, that if they went back to themselves as a 7th, 8th, and 9th grade player, they would crush these WNBA players. And Michael Porter Jr. just told you he was playing against WNBA players, including...
Here's what makes this moment genuinely significant. These aren't random podcasters chasing clicks, not shock jocks throwing out wild takes for attention. These are professional basketball players who've climbed every level of the sport. Lonzo Ball, the number 2 overall pick in the 2017 NBA draft. Michael Porter Jr., the 14th pick in 2018. And a guy who just put together 7 straight 20-plus point games for the Denver Nuggets. Their basketball credibility isn't up for debate, it's certified, and yet, as expected, their comments lit the internet on fire. One side is calling them disrespectful, questioning why they would even touch this topic, insisting they should be uplifting the women's game instead of comparing it to boys' basketball. The other side is arguing that nothing they said is factually wrong, and that pretending these realities don't exist doesn't help women's basketball.
Is 6'8". When's the last time she dunked a basketball? I watch these games and I'm like, Natasha Howard, you can't dunk that ball? Asia Wilson, why ain't you dunking? The difference in athleticism is, I mean, come on. Let's just settle this. Get some of the 9th and 10th graders in a scrimmage against these women. Oh, it'd be ugly. I'd say look at Mikey Williams.
Let's address the part of this debate that Porter hinted at but didn't fully break down. When he mentioned men entering women's sports by putting on a wig, he was referencing the broader controversy surrounding transgender participation in women's divisions, a topic that has already reshaped multiple sports conversations across the world. Seen this debate explode in swimming, highlighted by the case of Leah Thomas. Similar conversations have surfaced in track and field, cycling, powerlifting, and even combat sports. And the pattern that keeps fueling public discussion is the same. Athletes who competed as males earlier in life may retain certain physiological advantages: height, muscle density, bone structure, lung capacity, strength developed during testosterone-driven puberty. These factors can influence performance outcomes even after transition, which is why governing bodies across sports are constantly revisiting their rules, testing standards, and fairness policies. This isn't about questioning the effort, talent, or dedication of female athletes. They train at the highest level, and their skill isn't in doubt. The tension comes from how these inherent physical differences intersect with competitive fairness. And that's exactly why this entire debate feels so charged. Because if we acknowledge that elite high school boys often match or exceed the athletic profiles of WNBA-level women, then we're also acknowledging that the differences in male and female athletic development are significant enough to impact outcomes at the highest level. And once you admit that, it naturally influences every discussion surrounding sports categories, eligibility rules.
LeBron, can you imagine LeBron? Can you imagine LeBron in all this? If they were to ever I mean, come on. It would be a serious misunderstanding if it ever happened.
Now let's talk about what actually happens when you try to have this conversation in public. The reaction to Lonzo and Porter has turned into the perfect case study. Suddenly you've got people calling them delusional, saying they're high, claiming they don't respect women's basketball at all. Then on the other side, you have people pointing out that Patrick Beverley just said a WNBA team could beat an NBA bench unit, and nobody lost their mind over that. No outrage, no think pieces, no viral backlash. The double standard is impossible to miss. When someone overestimates women's basketball compared to men's basketball, it's labeled supportive, empowering, progressive. The moment someone mentions the measurable athletic gap, it gets branded as disrespectful, regressive, or hateful. And here's the irony. Neither extreme actually helps women's basketball grow. Pretending the gap doesn't exist does nothing. Pretending men and women play the same game doesn't elevate the women's side. It just muddies the conversation.
Average 50 points over there. Michael Porter Jr. last 7 games. 25, 34, 24, 21, 25, 28, 32. 11 rebounds, 5, 4, 6, 11, 9, 6. Steals. He's got 2 7-steal games. It would be a massacre. And I promise you, there will be people that get mad and unsubscribe to the channel because of this. What? You've got to be kidding. Be smart. I saw this and was like, yeah, I'm shooting it. He's 1,000% right. 10,000% right, as that dude said. It would be a disaster class on the WNBA. If you took NBA players and put them in their 8th grade selves, 9th grade selves, and put them in a WNBA game, holy hell, fire and brimstone.
Here's what makes this entire controversy so frustrating. The WNBA doesn't need to be compared to the NBA to have value. Women's basketball doesn't need to match men's athleticism to be compelling. The game stands on its own: elite skill, basketball IQ through the roof, team-oriented play, and athletes who've devoted their lives to the craft. Yet somehow, we've created a strange dynamic where simply acknowledging differences is treated like a threat to the legitimacy of women's sports. Take Lonzo Ball in 9th grade. Saying he could dominate the WNBA is treated like an attack, but it's not disrespect, it's biology. A 6-foot-plus teenage boy already dunking, destined to become an NBA player? He would absolutely overwhelm professional women's basketball. That's not controversial. That's not disrespectful. That's reality. And Michael Porter Jr. didn't just theorize about it, he lived it. In 7th and 8th grade, he scrimmaged against college players who would go on to WNBA careers, including Sophie Cunningham. And by his own account, he wasn't struggling, he was dominating. This wasn't speculation or a hot take. This was first-hand experience from someone actually in the middle of the scenario. Think about that. A middle schooler, 13 or 14, on a scout team designed to prep a Division I women's team, simulating their